going to try to do my best. I wanted to try to do this in a really more professional and more like elaborate video, but I really had some things that I wanted to get off of my chest and my mind. I hope the glare isn't too distracting. I'm gonna try to, but I literally woke up and I basically, yeah, that's gonna be distracting for some people probably. I wanted, I was doom scrolling. I was scrolling on Instagram, and I was really just cleaning out my followers list. And I tend to do that when I come back on Instagram, from my personal page and my business page or my creator page, I should say, because I'm still trying to figure out what that means for me. And I just want to make a disclaimer: if I do get emotional during this, it's not because I'm sad or because like I'm, you know, sensitive. Well, I am sensitive, but like I'm more so passionate, okay? And I get really like ticked off when people like when you express emotion or you cry and people are like immediately like, "Aw," and it's like, "Bitch, shut up." But anyway, like I said, I really wanted to approach this topic with a more formal video instead of just hopping on live and at 1 a.m. in the morning. I wanted to, and I still might talk about this on my podcast, but I wanted to try to, make it clean, really nice, professional looking content and branded content with this message. But I'm just gonna speak from the heart, and if I get emotional, excuse me. I tend to, I try to. That's part of why I jumped on and I wanted to speak on this because a lot of the time I'll have these thoughts and these feelings and I'll want to speak up and say these things, but I will get so far in my mind and overthinking the content and overthinking the message and overthinking how I need to deliver it. And I just don't want to do that. Like, I'm just not in that season of my life. Like, just trying to get all put together. Like, bitch, I ain't got my eyebrows done. I have Vaseline on my lips and no bra. Like, I'm in my pajamas right now and I'm lounging. This was so like strongly on my heart because I could feel myself getting overstimulated by being on it, or Instagram and scrolling the way that I was. Um, and seeing all these different creators, like seeing all these different people who do all these different forms of artistry, I can already feel myself getting over, like, you know. But I follow a variety of different types of artists. Like, I follow pole dancers, I follow DJs, I follow pyro artists, pyrotechnic artists. I don't know that exact term. Um, I follow clay artists, I follow digital artists, I follow musical artists, and small business owners, growers, and activists, and dancers. And I'm seeing these people put themselves out there on these different platforms, these huge platforms. Um, and they have all these different styles. Like, you have people who put out the more like clickbaity content, but there's still value there. You have people who put out obviously branded content that they're putting out for engagement. You have the people who are genuinely cultivating an audience and who are genuinely in it for the long haul, and you can tell they have 1,000 true followers based on the engagement on whatever they post. Whether it's put together content or it's random as hell and it's just, random pictures. Like, I'm definitely one of them girls who would just post like random shit, memes, a random picture of a flower I saw and a really bad quality bathroom picture, But I noticed after taking a year off of Instagram and Facebook, I noticed that the energy I feel from different apps, and I fucking hate Instagram. I fucking hate the way Instagram makes me feel. I fucking hate it. And I truly don't feel like Instagram is really for the multifaceted artist, honestly. Like I don't feel like it's really a place where people who haven't spent decades in one thing but have spent their whole lives being good at a multitude of things. And that's part of why this ties back into why I started Black Alchemy and what Black Alchemy is. Um, Having a creative safe space, having a space where people who are artists and creatives who are multifaceted and multi-talented and who can't choose just one thing and who can't just choose one niche and who can't just choose one style of or format of doing content or putting their art out in one form of 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 muse. And like when I think about all the things that I've done, like I'm just gonna like kind of give you an idea of like, and if you resonate with this, then you know what I mean. I'm kind of like a closeted theater kid. Like I'm a theater kid who didn't necessarily get the opportunity to be in theater. Um, I was in band. I was a band geek up until middle school, or up until high school, I should say. I did sports. I played volleyball. I was a volleyball captain when I was in high school. I did ballet. I took karate when I was in elementary school. I've written poetry. I've been on the step team. I've taken clay. I've done clay pottery. I've had my pottery put in art shows in high school. Um, like I've done a multitude of different things that literally don't fucking line up in like industry wise. I've been in a STEM program for 3 years out of my high school career because I thought I wanted to do sports medicine. You know what I mean? Because I knew I wanted to help people. I knew I wanted to be a part of making people feel good. I knew I had that natural just urge or just natural initiative to make people feel good and honestly without having to be prompted to. A lot of time it was just naturally people coming up to me and telling me their stories and just and just real hardcore shit, real like traumatic shit or really just very intimate shit that that they may have never told anyone else. And I really gravitated towards storytelling and what it means to tell your story. And that's essentially what this content shit is. That's essentially what these platforms and what you see all these people on these platforms doing and all the flashy, posts, all the clickbaity posts, all the, the branding and, people being, strategically placing their logos everywhere and them strategically posting certain type of content. It's literally people having something to say to the world, and I think everyone has a story. If you look close enough, everything can be a story. But we move so fast and we move so loud in the world, and we don't touch grass. Um, and that's why I kind of gravitated. Part of why I gravitated towards gardening, as far as branding, but it's been really hard trying to figure out like, okay, like I love gardening and I love the way it makes me feel, but there's not really an artistry. I won't say there's not an artistry in it, but for me, like as far as my creative expression, it's a little bit different with gardening. Gardening is more of a self-care thing. It's not really a creative thing for me. Um, it's more of a wellness thing, right? When it comes to my artistry, like, playing instruments, painting, drawing, writing, video editing, storytelling, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out, okay, like, where do you want to go with this whole Black Alchemy shit? Like, you want to create a space for other artists like you and that's the thing, like, there's this barrier to entry, okay, whether it's privilege, access, or money. And right now, your girl ain't got, like, and I'm not going to say, like, I'm not going to manifest that, but, like, when you are existing in a season of not having access to any of those, the journey feels so much more brutal. And then on top of that, if you don't have a community to to feed off of and to bounce ideas off of, the journey just feels that much more like, what the fuck am I doing this for? It's really hard to find that why. And for me, my why, it took me to experience true disassociation, true fucking ego death, and TikTok and the internet is has this like weird obsession with like, shadow work and fucking ego death and you know all of these different like spiritual psychosis, which is not like an actual diagnosis in DSM-5, so whatever. But they the internet has become so obsessed with that like spiritual psychosis the same way they've become obsessed with like the lonesome artist, like the solitude, going into solitude and to create art, which as someone who took a year off from, you know, social media and pretty much 2 years off from this business and this creative space that I want to cultivate, it's weird because you do need that space. You do need to take that time to like isolate and figure out what it is you have to say to the world. Like, to me personally, I feel like, bro, these platforms, we're always going to go through ebb and flows with technology and how we execute different ideas because we're human, we evolve, that's what we do. But storytelling is never going to not be a thing. We're human, that's what we do. We tell stories, we experience. And when we experience, as we experience, we tell the stories of our experience. And that's why I am right now on this live talking to nobody. There is nobody in this room. I'm talking to myself and God. Like, it's just me and God, and I'm just allowing God to say whatever God got to say through me. And whoever resonate with it, resonate with it. If it's one person, it's one fucking person. If it's 300 people, it's 300 people. I don't fucking know. But I've gotten a little bit more comfortable with being, like, okay with rejection. Like, I know that there is a particular message that I'm supposed to be speaking, and I've yet to, fully, be aware of that. Life is a journey. Like, this shit is I won't, that won't complete and come to conclusion until I take my last breath, okay? There is no finding my purpose. Like, I really genuinely feel like I'm just here to experience. And right now, with this business and with this Black Alchemy thing that I'm trying to do and really, get up off the ground, that barrier of entry is access, is privilege, is finances, and it's definitely not, knowledge and skill set and will. It's not that. Um, and that's what makes me so frustrated because, like I said, I was just on Instagram scrolling and seeing all these different creators and all these people. Like, some people I've, went to high school with, some people I grew up with, some people I never met before, but I see them. Like, I see you, I see y'all. I see them creating. Oh, I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying not to get emotional. I'm trying not to be that girl. I'm trying not to tap into my 14-year-old Tumblr girl self, okay? So I'm not trying to cry on the internet right now. But I have been just allowing myself to be more vulnerable and allowing God to speak through me and being more comfortable with talking about spirituality and talking about God. Like, that's another thing I've been afraid of and like really hesitant about, and talking about my journey with God. And because it's not really for everybody, that's also something that I'm really accepting of. Um, you don't have to share everything. You don't have to share every download you get. You don't have to share every message you get. What's for you is for you, and what's for, the access is, for other people, whatever. But um, I've been just getting a little bit more comfortable with whatever God wants me to say and tell, whatever story I need to tell in that moment to tell it. I don't always have to make it look nice and pretty and put together. Like, sometimes I'll be like, okay, well, I have to edit this video and put it out because if I don't, nobody's gonna watch it. If I don't make it engaging, if it's not engaging content, if it's not put together, if it doesn't have a engaging thumbnail, nobody's gonna click on it. But this is a really, you know, engaging topic that I know a lot of people are struggling with, and I really want to talk about. And I really want to have a space where we can talk about this. And I want to meet other people who are struggling with this. I want to meet other young creators who are multi-talented, who get in a room with other people and other creatives who have maybe been focused on one particular thing. Like, for example, I'll be in a space where I'll be in a alternative space with different types of creators. It may have a dancer, a rapper, a poet, and a painter. I have done, I have dipped my toe or my foot or my ankle in all of those forms of art, right? So I resonate with all of those artists in that room. I'm having conversations and intimate conversations and energy exchange with all these artists in the room. And by the end of it, I'm like, damn, like looking at their resume and comparing my portfolio to theirs. And I'm like, damn, like, and some of these people are around the same age as me, and some of these people, most of these people are 5 years, 10 years my senior. A lot of the time, I have been in spaces where I'm attracting people who are older than me, and I'm having conversations with people who are older than me, and then I get to compare my journey to theirs, and I forget that I'm only fucking 25 years old. I forget that I am only 25 years old, and I have been in survival mode since I was, what, 15? I have been on my own and taking care of myself since I was 15, you know. So, no, I have not been focused on one form of art. It took me fucking 5 years to get out of survival mode, you know, and I'm just now kind of getting to a point where I'm trusting God with the survival and doing what I need to do. Like, we still have bills, we still are human, we are artists trying to pay our bills so that we can sustain food in our mouths and clothes on our back and a bed to sleep in at night, um, while also trying to chase our dreams and this creative stimulation that you can't ignore. And that's what I mean. Like, it's this bug that just won't quit nagging at you. Like, and you know it's something there. Like, no matter how crazy it sounds, like, I have crazy ideas. I have so many ideas in my head that I want to execute. Oh, I'm trying not to cry, y'all. I have so many ideas in my head that I want to execute. I have so many ideas written down. I have so many scripts. I have so many ideas that I have ready to be executed. I just don't have the resources to execute them. I don't know the people. Um, I, you know, being a charismatic introvert, as I like to call myself, I'm coining that term. I don't know if that's a thing yet, but I'm coining it, goddammit. I'm not an extrovert. I'm not really introvert, but I really like to say I'm a charismatic introvert. You know what I mean? Because I love the feeling of when people feel good, you know, and people are engaging with me and we're having a good energetic exchange. Um, but I also know that I really do value and enjoy my own company, and I enjoy God's company, and I feel safe. I feel safest with my own and God's company, okay? And speaking of God, talking about God when you're alternative or when you are perceived as alternative in any form of fashion, as I do, it's really weird when you want to talk about spirituality in a way that's not Christian, but is also not far new age spirituality, because you bitches who be smudging, you smudging patachui smelling hoes, you candle burning hoes, you spell making bitches, you astrology hoes, you with your sign bitches. Y'all bitches are just as dangerous as the fucking ditties, okay? And I'm gonna go into that in my fucking podcast episode because I got a lot to say about you hoes, okay? How do I know? Because I used to rub elbows with these bitches. I was this close becoming one of them, okay? But gratitude that I didn't reach boss fight level. But some of you bitches are fucking dangerous. And we are in a space where people are desperate for community. People are desperate to network with other creators. People want to find people who think like them, who feel the same way they feel. And there are people who are in these creative spaces who are taking full fucking advantage of that. And that shit pisses me the fuck off, which is why I'm not so pressed about not being like I don't care about FOMO. Like the fear of missing out, I'm not pressed about that shit because God is going to place the people in the community and the right energies that need to be in my life where I won't question my safety, where I won't feel like I'm unsafe emotionally, mentally, financially. I won't feel unsafe. That's period point blank. Through severe fucking spiritual psychosis, bitch. Like if you've ever actually experienced fucking ego death or anything close to disassociation, I don't know why y'all bitches are pushing this shit because if you've ever actually experienced that shit, you would not want your fucking worst enemy to experience or feel that shit. So whatever, but and I'll talk about that another day. That's a whole nother video, but it's not fucking too late. Everything has a story if you look close enough. Um, and I truly believe that God is really using me to tell my story, to be a space to tell other people's story, or to create a space for others to tell their own story. Because I'm not going to tell nobody's story. I only have my story to tell. But I want Black Alchemy to be a space of storytelling in all forms. There is no, um, I'm not afraid of anything, you know? I'm curious about everything, but I've learned to set boundaries with my curiosity. So I'm taking this shit slow. I'm not trying to speed into virality. Like I'm not trying to speed into, community with a bunch of people. I'm not trying to rush into business deals. Like I'm taking this shit at God's pace and whatever God got for me. And when God tell me to go and God tell me to create, that's when I'll go. But when God's telling me to sit down and observe and back the fuck up and watch and figure out what the fuck going on and listen, then that's what I'll do. And I had to take a year and two to do that, Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just felt the need to say that. I knew that I was gonna keep overthinking and I was gonna want to make a really nice video and thumbnail because I love video editing. I've done since I was in middle school. Something I'm passionate about. But fuck it, fuck it. I'm just gonna tell the story and however it comes out, whoever it resonates with is who it resonates with. I'm just gonna let God use me and speak through me, speak to me, speak through me to others, um, and speak through others to me. So yeah, I love you. It's like 2 a.m. But yeah, y'all say bye to my Retsuko look-alike mock. It's not a Retsuko. I want a Retsuko, but he kind of looks like Retsuko, so that's whatever. Bye.